Good evening. We're going to call this meeting to order. Once the commander is ready. Great. Ridgewood Village Council Public Workshop, September 8th, 2021. The time is 5:21 p.m. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by a posting on the bulletin board in Village Hall, by mail to the Ridgewood News, the Record, and by submission to all persons entitled to same, as provided by law of a schedule, including the date and time of this meeting. Roll call.
Councilwoman Perrin.
Here.
Councilwoman Reynolds.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Seaton.
Here.
Mayor Knudsen.
Here. Please join us for the flag salute. Please join us for a moment of silence for our men and women serving our nation, our first responders, our men and women lost in Afghanistan, and for all those lost in Hurricane Ida. Thank you. We'll begin with public comments, not to exceed 3 minutes per person.
Rick Holloway, 1 Franklin Avenue. 3 items: the town garage, the help-on lease, and masks and vaccinations. Town garage. I urge you to take a deep breath and to hold off doing anything on the town garage. Yes, it is nice to think we can get rid of an eyesore by turning it into a park, but what does that really entail? Do we need a park there? I'm not sure. Who will design it? Who will maintain it? And what are we giving up in taxes? Franklin Avenue is in need of development along that stretch, with a parking lot next door and the Getty gas station across the street that is being abandoned. The whole thing's an eyesore. Why not bring in a developer? For the record, I love parks. I love parks. But the village does not have the bandwidth to create parks. Look at the disaster that is Shedler. What a shame. What a shame. Look at how the Wilsey Square Pocket Park was vandalized. What a shame. What a shame. Which makes me think, you want a park? Tear up the 38 compact spaces behind the railroad station. That'll make it for a great park. Now, the health bond issue, lease. Why is it taking so long to negotiate a lease? Who is negotiating the lease on behalf of the village? I appreciate the need to show toughness when you're negotiating a deal. I did that for my entire career. But having said that, this is one situation not to show toughness to Stacy Antine, who has done so much good for the village, but toughness towards the powers that be, who have done everything they could to torpedo one of Ridgewood's finest institutions. What a shame, what a shame. Lastly, excuse me, the village council meeting of July 14th, where the mayor walked around unmasked and unvaccinated in front of a full house. We all learned an interesting word from the mayor's posting, trypanophobic, or fear of needles. I would say a more appropriate word is misanthropic. Misanthropic. Look it up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Russell Forenza, 228 Emmett Place, Ridgewood, New Jersey, 074502803. I wasn't going to speak, but I think I will. I kindly agree with the gentleman that just spoke about the park. I'm just wondering, though, is it just going to be where the town garage was, or are we going to take away those parking spaces that are to the left of it when you look at it? If they do that, I disagree with that. I really don't think we need another park. We don't know what type of pollution sits under there, and we take another thing off the tax rolls. Again, no tax money coming in. We've got the farm up there. We're investing millions of dollars up there. Tabernacle across the other side of the highway. We're investing probably millions of dollars, and we get nothing out of it. No tax ratables for the town. Number two, I don't think it's a good idea for any public official or Village of Ridgewood employee, including mostly the police, that take a knee for the Black Lives Matter movement. First of all, it's dangerous. They're getting down on their knees for 9 minutes. Somebody can come over and bop them on the head and take their service revolver. If they want to kneel for the Black Lives movement, that's perfectly fine. You do it on your personal time, vacation time, take a sick day, but you don't do it while you're wearing your uniform. Everybody may not agree with that. And especially when they're on a knee, when somebody could come up and it could cause who knows what. 9 minutes is a long time for somebody to be on their knee. I've spoken to the chief about it. She hears me out, but she says she doesn't agree with me, and she would do it again. And I like the chief. And apparently one or two of the officers did it. I'm not sure who they are, but it was in the paper a while back when they did it. But I just think that's disrespectful to people that don't want it, but more disrespectful for the safety of everybody concerned. Think about that. When you're on duty, you're on duty. You're not there to take whatever movement is in place and take sides. You shouldn't do that, no matter what the movement is. I don't care whatever it is. You're there to do one thing, to keep the public safe. You don't take sides with one group of public or another group of public. Supposing somebody came in that was objecting to that, are they going to still stay on their knee? Think about that. I'm not against what they want to do. As I said, personal day, vacation time, sick day, whatever they want, they can certainly do it, but not while they're in uniform. I'm sure that you people don't agree with it because you allow them to do it. So again, I'm just talking for the heck of talking. But anyway, that's my opinion. And the third thing, why don't we buy a shredder? I mentioned it to the village manager over at the recycling center. Put it in the capital budget. Let's get one over there. People can operate it and learn how to run the darn machine, but it'd be something that the village could have constantly. People could bring their stuff instead of waiting on lines once or twice a year over at Graydon Pool. I have a lot of stuff that I could shred. Come down to my basement, and I'll let you take it all out. It'll save me a lot of work, and you can shred it for me. But I can only bring 4 boxes at a time. So I'd rather have something there permanently. The village could use it. Maybe you can even make some money on it, sending it out or taking it someplace, whatever. You close Wednesday, so maybe it's a day you can take it around and make some money from some other towns or whatever you want to do with it. But I think you could generate some money. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening. And I'm for the vets, so let's give the vets what they need, and we got to do it. Thank you.
Thanks, Russ. Hang on. Reset for Siobhan.
Siobhan Cram, Winograd, 274 Ivy Place. That was for the clerk. For the council, on a very personal level, I'm Siobhan. I live at 274 Ivy Place. I'm a constituent. I've written you countless times. I'm a mother to 2 kids and a wife to a husband and a daughter of a disabled person. All of my requests, other than perfectly polite plan, have been ignored. It's a sensitive topic. I'm horrified that you would not respond to my requests and my personalization that my father, who was a post-polio survivor, a Marine, could not access this meeting without remote access. My mother, his caregiver, couldn't either. It seems bizarre to me that it's 2021 and Ridgewood looks antiquated and old and is not embracing modern technology to make sure that our disabled and aged population is heard. when Ramon put this in, and he put it in, there was no meeting where you all decided. He overnight decided to do this. You had a resurgence in democracy, and that's what government should want. You should want to hear from as many constituents as you can. And the interesting thing about this council is that you have more knowledge than any other council in the history of Ridgewood about your constituents. You have a census that our government paid millions of dollars for. You have a master plan that you paid $250,000 for. You've taken all that information knowing that our population is aging and that 1 in 5 Americans will be disabled and their life and therefore not able to access meetings as this, and you literally pulled the plug on the access. This is pretty intense for me. As you know, I've been coming here a lot. I don't understand how you did it, and I don't understand how you failed to respond, and you have failed. So when you close public comment, let's be honest that none of my emails, other than Pam being perfectly polite, have been addressed. It hasn't even made its way onto the agenda, and I'm taken aback. I have no idea what to say to my kids, and I have no idea what you're going to say to the residents that live in Ridgecrest and all the new residents that we're going to welcome into Steel Fonds. Our town is better than this. We are a smart, vibrant town. We value our elderly. We value our disabled. You should turn the remote access back on, and you should, if you don't want to, answer a resident like me. My father passed away before COVID, but my work did not. You've seen my kids advocate for this. You know me. Every week I say my name for the clerk, and every week you look at me as a person. You attend their events. Can you not see that this is upsetting? Can you not see how few residents are participating since you pulled the plug? Please restore it. Please put it on the agenda. Please stop with the nonsense and embrace our elderly and our disabled by turning the remote access back on.
Thank you. Okay. Anyone else?
Good evening.
Hang on. Hang on.
Technical difficulties.
Go.
Just resetting the egg timer.
Very tricky.
Okay.
We okay?
Yes.
All right.
Bob Upton, 172 West Glen Avenue. Apparently the West Glen Sidewalks project is moving ahead. Firstly, I want to thank Councilwoman Reynolds and the village manager and engineer for meeting with me to discuss that project. At that time, my inquiry was to understand the timing and process for the project and how it was going to proceed. And at that time, the plan had been described as conceptual or broad brush, and comment was awaited from the county. I haven't noticed any report or of a comment from the county, and the current plan appears to be the same as the conceptual plan that was originally presented. I want to emphasize again that I'm not opposed to the project in principle, but I feel there are a number of aspects that should be addressed, which are the project was originally proposed under the heading of safety, but specifically the speeding issue on West Glen Avenue doesn't seem to be addressed in any way within the plan. And the location of trees along the side of the road would present a safety issue due to visibility issues. Also, the parking of delivery and contractor vehicles could become more of a problem. Initially, it was said that only $50,000 was available to start the project, which will extend over many years, and it seems imprudent to embark on a multi-year project without assessing the overall cost and finalizing the total plan. But as far as I know, there's no plan to discuss publicly the overall plan or, other than to meet with individual property owners. Issues that should be addressed for the whole project that affect the cost and aesthetics are the need for sidewalks on both sides of the street, the width of the sidewalks, and sidewalks on both sides and the width are both more than was felt necessary for the lower parts of West Glen Avenue when that was refurbished. There's also the need and cost of the grass strip and the cost of removing existing walls and then replacing them with new walls. Apart from the grass strip, has anyone considered the aesthetics of building a wall with the same material in front of 15 adjacent properties all lined up along the south side of the street from number 162 to number 228. And lastly, if individual accommodations will be made to the individual residents, then their effect should be considered on the overall plan before embarking on parts of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Okay. Anyone else? So we're going to close public comment. I just want to say we have a presentation, American Legion Gold Star Mother Committee. And then we're going to get through our agenda. Just so everyone's aware, we do have a closed session scheduled for 6:30, so we may have to, if we don't get through our agenda, we may have to suspend our work session, go into closed session, come out of closed session, go back into our work session, and then go into our public meeting after that. So I just want everyone to be aware of how we're going to manage our marathon meeting this evening. And so we would like to invite, Maria, our Gold Star Mother Committee to please come on up, and the American Legion representatives. Chris, do we want to sit at the, Chris, would you like to sit at the table, or you prefer to stand there?
No, this is fine. I'm fine,
Perfect.
as long as you can see me and hear me.
We can see you in here.
Good evening. My name is Chris Stout, 251 Burnside Place in Ridgewood. Waterfront property in Ridgewood, unfortunately. I am here as part of a Gold Star Families Monument Committee consisting of members and friends of American Legion Post 53, William Carbone, Ramon Hache, Jack Marcassiano, Bob Pioli, Joseph Plicky, and Arthur Rubel. Our mission is to offer a monument in Ridgewood to the Gold Star families of New Jersey. The title Gold Star Family is reserved for families of military members who have died in the line of duty and is meant to honor the service members' ultimate sacrifice while acknowledging their family's loss, grief, and continued healing. Council members are aware that for many years, Post 53 has organized a Gold Star Families Luminaries Evening on Gold Star Family Day, the last Sunday in September. Now, the Post wants to place a permanent tribute to Gold Star families in Memorial Park at Van Ness Square. The site is indicated on the attached map that I gave you with the Gold Star. We have an award-winning permanent tribute to Ridgewood's 114 military service casualties in the park, and we want to add a tribute to their families. To our knowledge, there are many similar monuments throughout the United States, but only one Gold Star monument in the state of New Jersey, and that would be at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Homedale. Ridgewood's American Legion Post 53 would like to promote a permanent monument to Gold Star families of northern New Jersey. We envisage that the monument will be in the form of an abstract or realistic sculpture with graphics based on replies to a request for proposals that we will be sending out to local sculptors. Examples of similar monuments elsewhere will also be considered. The sculpture will be an instrument of expression of loss and grief to portray the emotion and strength of Gold Star family members. It will also be the centerpiece of the annual Gold Star Families commemoration. This will allow artists to focus their effort to create a realistic or abstract sculpture as appropriate. People who visit the site would leave with an understanding of the anguish that families experience with any military loss. The proposal selected will be presented to the Village Council for approval. Our request tonight is therefore to get your support and approval to place and maintain a permanent monument of Gold Star families on village grounds, specifically in Memorial Park at Van Ness Square. Do you have any questions?
Any questions, Pam?
Yes. Mr. Stout, do you know, does your RFP ask for a particular medium? Is it bronze? Is it marble?
That will be entirely up to the sculptor. We've been through all of that. It could be marble, could be bronze, could be a lot of different things. And we have some highly specialized people working with us to make that decision as to how long it will last. Is it vandal-free? There's a lot of decisions that have to be made, but this is meant to be a permanent permanent monument. And the selection, if we get approval, the selection will be based on the longevity.
Do you anticipate getting a drawing?
We haven't sent out a request for a proposal yet. We're waiting for the council to give us a green light, please, and then we're going to send out an RFP to a couple of local organizations of sculptors, and we're being helped with that by I don't know if you know Mrs. Peck. Judith Peck has done a lot of sculptures in town, so you have seen some of her things, and she's been very helpful in guiding us.
Anyone else?
That's that.
No, thank you, Chris. I was at the last meeting, so I kind of got a preview. But I did have a question. Once the sculptor comes forward from the RFP, I guess you would then come back to the council and say, okay, this is what they were thinking, and
Well, we're hoping that we will have authority to make the decision on the final choice, which we would then bring to the council for your approval.
okay, thank you.
I don't know, there could be 2 or 3, but I think we're going to hopefully going to narrow it down to 1.
Okay.
Okay. No, I just want to say thank you. I think this is a great idea, and it'll be a wonderful tribute.
The placement is important because the way it's set up, it relates directly to the monument. So the families and the names of the people on the casualties on the monument are linked. We hope they will be linked.
So first, thank you.
Say again?
It is truly an opportunity to acknowledge and recognize service and sacrifice. I would like to ask, as your fundraising efforts have to be in place, where will checks be made payable to? I actually have a couple of wedding donations I'll be happy to send
Well,
your way.
boy, I'm glad we've gotten to that already. We have the beginnings of a fundraising program, but you can't raise funds for something that doesn't exist. So we want to get the approval and get the concept approved and start. And I think we have supporters already for the concept. And then we'll go out to the public. It also includes, I think the committee has agreed that because the monument, as we want it, will be in the middle of the grass right now, that we would put in a brick walkway so people could walk up to it the way, and then acknowledge major donors with a brick.
So is for right now, can donations be made to the American Legion earmarked for?
I'm sorry, say again.
So can donations be actually made to the American Legion earmarked for the project? Is that a or does it have to be specific to that?
I'm sorry, I don't know, I didn't.
Who do you make the check out to?
Oh, you would make.
If you wanted to donate.
Well, we would have a restricted fund for these funds. It'd probably have to open a new bank account.
Okay, it would be a new bank
specifically
account,
for the event.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We don't want to commingle.
I think we're good. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that we're
I'm
fully supportive
supportive of
of
it.
the project, and we're actually grateful for the opportunity to have the Gold Star Monument in Ridgewood.
Detail. Is this a formal approval, or do we get something in writing?
You want it in writing?
Well, no, just so if the minutes reflect the fact that the council has reviewed it and supports it, that's all I need.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
we
because-
don't have to take a formal vote on this. I think we can approve this
a
by
consensus,
consensus. So I think that you are hearing support, and if you need to have that by resolution, we certainly can prepare a resolution and endorse the project for our October meeting, but you'll be, what's our October date?
13th. So, but you can, what they're saying is there is a consensus, you can certainly move forward, and we'll do a resolution just to firm it up in October. But all of the council members are in agreement that this is a good project.
I'm very grateful, very grateful.
So you're
Thank
good.
you very much.
We'll get that in writing, so we have a resolution that's voted on, but you're good, we're good, by consensus.
One of the important things is that the fundraising now actually starts tonight, because the National Gold Star Families Organization has a $250 grant that they will give to any new project. So I'll put in for that tonight, and we'll seed the hill with $250.
Okay,
Sounds good.
very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming, and thank you for your service. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to our discussion items. Ridgewood Water. The first one is we adopted a resolution, the Village Council adopted a resolution 21-209 for the purchase of an emergency generator for the Water Department in the amount of $116,795. This dollar amount was actually incorrect. So what we want to do is rescind that resolution and have a new resolution which will reflect the corrected purchase price of $135,093. And this emergency generator is for the new water office project. It will also be shared by the library.
Okay. Any questions?
The next item is vehicle tracking system. Hold on one sec. I think it's stuck together here. I hope it did. Preparation of Village Council meeting minutes through December 31st, 2021. Unfortunately, our original contractor for our Village Council meeting minutes preparation has resigned for personal reasons. We were very fortunate to have one of our original contractors who prepares minutes willing to take over the preparation from July 1st through December 31st of 2021. This is a time of year that we go out for proposals for 2022. So it's Melinda Doral of Marietta, Georgia, $11 per page, not to exceed $10,000. Probably won't be that much because we have fewer meetings, in the November, December, but just to cover it.
Any questions?
Do I see that the price is going up? I seem to recall that.
It was $9 with our
yeah.
original contractor. However, I have to say that I was relieved that this individual was willing to do it. I spoke with Bob, and he thinks, we'll have enough money. The next item is the award of state contract purchase for the vehicle tracking system. Again, on July 14th, the Village Council adopted a resolution awarding a contract for the installation of vehicle tracking systems and software for village vehicles, and this is under state contract. After the adoption of the resolution, we were notified by the vendor that they changed to a new state contract. The change occurred at the beginning of 2021, which would affect both the 2021 and 2022 contract years. The request is to rescind the resolution adopted in July and adopt two new resolutions that would reflect the corrected state contract number, as well as one to cover the periods of January 2021 to June 2021, and then the other from July 21 to June 2022. So again, it's a correction of something we were not aware of, that the state contract had changed.
Very good. Any questions?
Heather, just in terms of where we are in the agenda, did we skip over parking?
Certain
There's
things were
none.
taken out, so
We
we
were
could,
taken
Oh,
out.
There's none.
okay,
yeah, it was revised, so there
Okay.
was items taken out, so we could get it done in an hour.
gotcha.
The next one is award the third year of a 3-year contract disposal of recycling materials. This is a revenue share model with payment to the village. So they are recommended the award of the third year of the 3-year contract to Atlantic Coast Fibers of Passaic, New Jersey.
Any questions? Moving on.
The next one is the police department went out for quotes for a 2022 Ford Police Interceptor. The lowest responsible quote came from Route 23 Auto Mall of Butler, New Jersey, at the price of $37,130. This is in the police department capital budget. This is replacing patrol car number 9, which is a 2016 Ford, which has high mileage with 72,524 and 16,696 engine hours. This will be able to be passed down to another department in the village. Basically, car number 9, although it's still able to be operated, is not appropriate to be used in an emergency capacity anymore. So as noted by Sergeant Chuck, this is still safe to be used for several years in another department. And it's in the capital budget. I think I did say that.
Yep.
The next one is awarding a contract for portable radios for emergency services. It will be awarded under state contract. It's 6 new portable radios, Motorola Solutions of Wickliffe Lake, New Jersey. The amount is not to exceed $34,998.09, and this is in their capital budget. They are replacing existing portable radios in vehicles to allow for colleagues to communicate on multiple additional bands from a single radio. It will enhance safety, efficiency, and improve interagency operations. This completes the change in portable radios because previously we've updated the radios in the ambulances and the first responder vehicle.
Any questions?
The next one is award of contract for the 2022 village calendar. I think I'm going to pull this one because there are some discrepancies in the numbers, and in looking at it, I don't know that we have the right numbers here. I can tell you for a fact that Ridgewood Press was the lowest quote, but and that's who we've dealt with in the past. We'll bring it back, I guess, at the end of September and probably award it in October and just let Ridgewood Press know that we can move forward because it was lower by, at least $1,000. So.
Just one quick question on the
Sure.
village calendar. Could we just confirm the Jewish holidays with
Yes,
Rabbi
I
Fine,
will.
please? Thank you.
Mhm, we will do that. Thank you. The next one is an additional award from our award for road resurfacing and repairs. This was awarded back in probably March, and it was American Asphalt and Milling Services of Kearney, New Jersey. And in that bid was also the curb and sidewalk replacement. They've actually done a phenomenal job with that curb and sidewalk installation work. And so Mr. Rudesauser is recommending they be awarded additional funds in the amount of $160,000 for sidewalk work, primarily on West Glen Avenue and possibly some other locations. The funding is available in the capital budget.
Any questions?
The next one is authorizing electronic tax sales. This is actually to allow us to continue to participate in them, as we did our first electronic tax sale, I believe, last year. This is to New Jersey Tax Lien Investors /realauction.com, and this has been approved by the Director of the Division of Local Government Services of the State of New Jersey. We also have our regular annual resolution to authorize the tax collector to charge $25 per mailing of the tax sale notice and add it to the cost of the tax sale in lieu of any 2 publications of the tax sale notice. Again, that's an annual resolution which is required each year.
Questions?
The next item is authorizing the sale of compost. We solicited requests for proposals from vendors in the yard waste mulch industry for the sale of finished compost from Lakeview. That's where we take our leaves. Once it's finished composting, which is about this time every year, we do go out to see who would like to purchase it. We did receive a highest quote was from DTS Trucking of Hawthorne, New Jersey, and it's $3 per cubic yard. It's approximately $27,000 that the village will be receiving, and this is actually 50 cents more per cubic yard than last year. DTS has been purchasing our finished compost for the past several years, and it will make room for our new leaves to go into the compost facility this year.
Good. Anyone? Questions?
The next one is the Ridgewood AM Rotary Club, and they have volunteered to perform trail maintenance and remove invasive tree species at Twinney Pond. Those tree species will be identified by the village arborist. The trail maintenance would entail placing wood chips on the walking paths. Saturday, October 2nd is the scheduled date, and then the rain date would be October 9th. The village will assist by providing wheelbarrows to move the wood chips, some rakes and hand tools to help perform the work, and remove and dispose of the cut down invasive trees. We have requested a certificate of insurance from the Ridgewood AM Rotary Club. I don't know if Councilwoman Perrin wants to make any other comments. I know she's a member.
Yes, we are working on getting the certificate of insurance. And also, the Rotary would like to start not at 9 a.m., but at 8 a.m. if possible, because it's a lot of ground to cover, and we want to make sure we can get it done in one day. So if we could make that change, I'd appreciate it. Also, the Director of Parks and Recreation tells me that she's going to have the arborist mark the invasive trees so that we can cut them down, but she's also hoping to get that job done in-house first, so that the volunteers might not actually end up cutting down the invasive trees. I just wanted to alert you to that.
Thanks.
So are invasives are they being treated, or invasive trees and plants that they won't return? Because I think we went through this at King's, and we treated, I thought we...
Well, that was Japanese knotweed. That's different.
Different,
We didn't
okay.
lop
Alright.
the tree off. That's pretty much the end of it.
These
All
would be
right.
Norway maples. They tend to,
Okay, so it's just trees?
yeah.
Okay, good.
Saplings.
All right, perfect. Very good. Thank
Okay,
you.
the next one is vacating Barrington Road and Upper Boulevard. There's a paper street located at the westerly intersection of Barrington Road and Upper Boulevard. The adjoining neighbors are interested in receiving portions of that property. There will be a 15-foot wide water main easement will be located in the median of the proposed vacated parcel, so that one on each side, or it will be equal. All rights entitled to the vacated parcel, other than the retained interest in the 15-foot wide water main, shall be conveyed to and consolidated with the abutting properties, and the owners of the properties who will receive the portions of vacated property shall be responsible for reimbursement to the village of any and all costs related to the vacating of the unimproved paper street, the consolidation of the lots, the modification of the maps of the village, and which will reflect the consolidation of the vacated parcel to the respective properties.
I just have one typo here. The word foot is missing where you say 15-foot water main. Actually, the word foot is missing. So that, and it also that's in the fourth whereas.
I have 15 feet wide.
Oh,
I think it was,
I think there was a couple
There was
of
a
iterations.
okay. The
that,
copy doesn't say that.
Eventually made it, so.
Okay, I'm looking at something that says revised, but I guess it was re-revised. Also, my version says the survey is attached here too, but I don't actually have the attached.
Yeah, the survey will be attached to the ordinance once it's voted on it.
Okay.
As will be the meets and bounds. I've been waiting for the meets and bounds description of the entire area that's being vacated, which was being performed by the property owner's surveyor, and I don't have it yet. They expect it hopefully sometime soon, so we can pass it.
The next item is, there's the property maintenance person is requesting resolution by the village council to hire a landscaper to abate the violation found at a property in Ridgewood and charge the cost of the landscaping to the property. The village has been unable to contact the owner to maintain the property. It is not in foreclosure because the taxes are being paid. It is apparently being negotiated for a short sale. It's not taken place yet. The attorney for the owner has been advised that the village will be hiring a landscaper and will add this cost to the tax burden. Property is in severe condition. They estimate the landscaper that we spoke with, $1,800 to $2,000, cutting grass, removing weeds, removing plants from the gutters, reducing water in the pool so there's no stagnant water in the pool cover. So we just need authorization to move forward with that cost.
Good plan.
Okay. The next one is the Central Business District Dining Corral Extension. I just want to, this is going to be brief. I just want to remind everyone it does expire October 31st. We'll bring it back at the end of the month. At that work session, Bob Rooney is working on looking at, possibly a different pricing structure, possibly, for the council's consideration to make them permanent. But that's something to be discussed later. But we need a little bit more back before we discuss it further. So I just wanted to remind everyone that it's coming up soon, but we still have a little time to discuss it. The next one is extending the time of variance approval due to the pandemic, and that is due to the fact that obviously with the public health emergency with COVID, basically when anyone gets a variance approval that is not subject to a site plan subdivision or conditional use approval, they must obtain the required building permits or other permits within 1 year of the date of the adoption of the resolution. It's been noticed that it's been very difficult for applicants. Obviously, building materials have been difficult to come by, and so what the Village Council would like to do, would like to temporarily extend the time period for the approved applicants to 2 years from the date of the adopted resolution of approval to satisfy the requirements. And it will remain in effect until there is a further resolution of the Village Council rescinding it. So I don't know if Mayor Newton wanted to make a couple more comments.
Yeah, no, I think this was an important step to just give some relief to those who have already been granted relief. It's just been an impossible situation, and Matt and I worked with Bruce Whitaker to make sure that this was done properly, and so I think this will be a welcome news to many of our residents who went through the time, the trouble, and the expense of seeking variance relief. This will give them an opportunity to finish their projects without having to go for variance approval again.
And the final item is declaring property surplus from the IT department. This is property which is end of life, damaged, not suitable for repair, not needed for public use, declares it surplus property and authorizes the village manager to dispose of that property. That's all I got.
That's it.
So I just need a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, we're going to take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And we'll...
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Great job, council. That was for that. All right. Now we have a break.
Well, as soon as they get us, well, two things. As soon as they get us the survey and the meets and, I got the survey. I don't have the meets and bounds yet. So then as soon as I get that for us, and then it's done from our end, and then they go ahead with what they've got to do to perfect the transfer of the property. But the other one at Phelps, there were two of them. The one at Phelps is a tough one because one of the property owners doesn't want it. So, because there's a drain, if you know the hill that comes down from Phelps onto Upper, there's a drainage ditch. It's got stones and rocks in it. Goes all the way down, and he doesn't want to maintain it. So that's a legitimate reason. 2 years. 2 years. Well, Dinesh called.